Who doesn't know this? So much hobby, so little space. In this video, I'll show you how I paint, airbrush, take photos of my minis, film and store my paints and tools on just a 48 by 24 inches desk. Since I don't have a ton of space, I had to come up with a setup that is efficient, modular and ergonomic. I'll also share my most used paints and tools, and there's even a little room tour of the rest of my man cave, so here we go. Few people have the luxury of a large hobby space, especially if they don't live alone. I also have to make do with limited space, even though as a content creator I spend a lot of time painting and modeling Warhammer miniatures. I live in a city with high rents and I only have a 12 square meter room in my flat that has to serve as a hobby space, home office and storage room. However, necessity is the mother of invention, and over my 20 years in the hobby I've learned how to make the most out of limited space. In fact, my entire hobby setup, including photography and filming, fits into a 48 by 24 inches space. That's one of the smallest desk sizes from IKEA. Before I show you how I did it, let's talk about the IMO most important thing for a workspace: ergonomics, so you can safely enjoy the hobby for many years to come. For more than a decade, I've been working on a raised surface of about 95 cm in height. Less hunching over, keeping a straighter back, it's a game changer for back health. Plus, you get more control because you can rest your arms and work at eye level. Previously, I used a rather cheap desktop and legs combination, but it was quite wobbly. While it might be acceptable for most people, needing to add extra lights and a camera arm for content creation turned the wobble into a problem. So I was looking to upgrade my hobby desk for quite a while, and thanks to FlexiSpot, the sponsor of today's video, I was able to upgrade to the height adjustable E7 Pro. This adds so much more flexibility to my setup. You can set and save different heights as presets, like 95 cm for painting. When I'm quickly priming models with the airbrush, I found I like to do that while standing, so I can raise the desk a bit. And the best part, unlike cheap desks, the frame is made from automotive grade steel with thickened legs. It has a weight bearing capacity of 160 kg, so it's super sturdy even with all my equipment, and the wobble is gone. You can choose between various desktop sizes and colors on flexispot.com. Oh, and you might want to think about getting an ergonomic chair as well. Those racing chair style gaming chairs might look cool and feel comfortable, but they're really not the best for your back. Better look for a proper ergonomic office chair. FlexiSpot has an affordable solution here too, like the BS12 Pro. So next time that limited edition FOMO box set comes out, think twice and better invest in your health instead. You benefit more in the long run than just adding another box to your pile of shame. Now, let's take a closer look at my workspace and all the storage hacks I came up with over the years. As you can see, with the new desk, I've stuck to the 48 by 24 inches desk size. Centerpiece is my spray booth from Amazon, a white label product sold under various brand names. For your reference, I've added a link in the video description, as with everything I'm showcasing in this video. Along with a proper rebreather, this saves your lungs and your room from fumes and stray pigments. Only thing I recommend with this extractor is replacing the short, rigid hose with a more flexible one. Although the unit is foldable, I'm keeping it permanently installed for convenience. Because here's the twist. For brush painting, I use a paint station that fits perfectly into the booth, which I can remove when airbrushing. A true 2-in-1 solution. My paint station is scratch built from an MDF paint rack kit and plywood, though you can buy similar ready-made MDF kits. To the left of the extractor, I have a pen holder for brushes and tools. What I love about this organizer is the way the compartments are arranged, so I can reach everything comfortably with my left hand while seated. Speaking of reaching stuff, under the desk is a drawer unit where I sort my paints. Mine is a used Bisley model I got pretty cheap, but you can find a nearly identical one at IKEA. I've customized the drawers with plastic L-shaped profiles from the DIY shop to keep things organized. This way, my most used colors are always within easy reach. On top of the unit, I put the compressor for the airbrush and my photo corner, which is simply a sheet of white paper as a backdrop. For lighting, I use two rechargeable, dimmable Ralino LED panels from Amazon. Mounted on clamps, they can be quickly attached or removed and used elsewhere. This is where I take photos for social media and my tutorials on taleofpainters.com and Patreon. For filming, I've installed a camera arm with a ring light, which also serves as a desk lamp. Again, killing two birds with one stone. Above the desk, I've installed wall shelves for extra storage. Check out your local DIY or furniture stores for ideas, but the key is finding something for which you can get compatible boxes. I've got some basic IKEA CD-sized boxes that I use to sort hobby materials. For example, when I'm airbrushing, I just grab the box with all my thinners, varnishes and cleaning tools. As you can see, I use the boxes without lids, repurposing them as trays which come in useful when testing new paints for my channel, for example. This keeps everything together and makes it easy to pack away, freeing up valuable desk space within seconds. Feel free to share your favorite storage hacks in the comments below. Next to the hobby space, I've got a second desk for my PC, but theoretically you could fold up the spray booth, lower the table to a standard height and set up a laptop there. However, as a creator and for home office use, I need the extra space. Here at the large screen, I edit videos and photos, review the latest Warhammer releases for Tale of Painters and create by hand-painted color swatches which now cover all the major paint ranges. For maximum accuracy, my monitor is calibrated to the same color temperature as my camera and LED lights. Naturally, I double check each color by eye, ensuring that my swatches are compatible with each other so you can convert colors between different paint ranges. When I'm not working on swatches or content, I like to unwind with some games here, mostly boomer shooters and Metroidvanias. Before we come back to my workspace so I can show you all my tools and paints in detail, here's a quick room tour of the rest of the man cave. This shelf behind me is my YouTube backdrop. It's actually the Plaza wardrobe system from IKEA. The version with 40 cm depth also does fantastic as a shelving unit. It gives me extra storage space for things like my terrain collection and primers, mainly Colorforge, AK and Vallejo hobby sprays. This shelf also houses my second photography setup, where I take my cinematic miniature photos. I clamp my LED panels here and use additional RGB lights. Modularity is key when space is tight. Below that is my camera gear and at the top is my paint archive. On my channel, I always test the latest miniature paint ranges and tools, so give me a like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on the latest hobby releases. And this is my collection of painted models. The top row houses my firstborn Ultramarines, my Dark Eldar, and some recently painted Ulthway models which blend into my Craft World Airbrush collection. You can find pictures of all the individual models at taleofpainters.com. Just make use of the search function. Below that is a mixed compartment with various 40k models and kill teams. Then we have my Blitzbolt teams, my Necromunda gangs, as well as a small collection of Sons of Horus. The compartment on the right has my Underworld warbands, Nighthaunt and Soulblight. By the way, I built these display cabinet sliding doors myself, using plastic tracks for terrarium construction and combining them with cut-to-size acrylic glass sheets I ordered from a specialized online shop. Below the miniatures, I've got a selection of 90s action figures and toys from my childhood, along with some Lego and a few manga series, but these days I read mainly digitally to save space. Back here is my reading corner with an artwork I commissioned, where I also keep some White Dwarfs and rule books. And no, that's unfortunately not a real Eames lounge chair, it's just a cheap replica. Then we have my pile of opportunity and we're back to my workspace. Lots of hobbying in a small space, and as promised, let's take a closer look at my favorite tools and paints distilled from over 20 years of hobbying. Let's start with the brushes. For sharp edge highlights, I always stick to the Winsor Newton Series 7M 000, which has the smallest tip I can find. For detailed work, I use DaVinci Maestro or sometimes other brushes I get sent for reviewing. My workhorses are the DaVinci 1526Y, which are cheap and cheerful and perfect for heavy-duty tasks like base coating and washing. For dry brushes, I prefer synthetic bristles, and I'm currently loving my Teclon Tiger dry brush set from Chronicle. The range of sizes and shapes is perfect, the set is affordable, and they look stylish too. Chronicle also offers Kolinsky Sable and Wolf Hair sets, which are also great value for money. My wet palette is the Painter Light from Redgrass Creative, and their precision sprue nippers are my weapon of choice for clipping. One of my newest additions is this rechargeable rotary tool from DSPIA, onto which you can stick sanding paper dots in various grids. It's amazing. I even got the heavy mold lines of my Warcry terrain perfectly smooth. My airbrush is the PS289 from Mr. Hobby, which has an Iwata level of quality and which I managed to snag tax-free and super cheap in Tokyo. As for paints, my current favorites are two thin coats, the new Vallejo Game & Model colors and Pro Cruel. They have excellent coverage, great flow properties and a similar matte finish, which I love. But I really use a plethora of paints. I still have quite a bit of Citadel colors. I also like the new Warpaints Fanatic, AK 3rd Gen of course. TT Combat paints are great too, and I've got some older ones like the original Formula P3 paints and Reaper Master series. Up here in this drawer, I keep washes and one-coat paints. For washes, I most often use Pro Cruel, the new Formula Citadel washes and Warpaints Fanatic. When it comes to contrast paints, I use almost all brands depending on the color and effect I'm after. I actually did a ranking of all one-coat paints on my channel, so go watch this next. And make sure to check out FlexiSpot. Their Black Friday sale starts now with up to 65% off their products. Buy more, save more. Use my promo code and grab an extra discount. Thanks a lot, watch my latest video here on the right and happy hobbying!